It's a year to the day that Brook MacDonald broke his back. The New Zealand downhill mountain biker suffered the worst crash of his career and lay semi-paralysed on the side of a Canadian mountain. Testament to the strength and determination of the man they call Bulldog, MacDonald has just left New Zealand for Austria with plans to compete at October's World Champs. Joe Porter has more.
Brook MacDonald was feeling good. Having qualified third fastest for last year's World Champs in Mont-Saint-Anne, he needed just a couple of practice runs before the race. But he never made it to the bottom of the trail, hitting an exposed route on a rock slab that sent him offline and over the handlebars.
I landed straight on my back and bounced, probably a metre high off into the ditch and went to roll over and couldn't roll or couldn't feel my legs. Knew straight away that there was something pretty serious wrong. Can't remember too much because I was in so much shock, but I was wanting to get off the hill as soon as possible.
Semi-paralysed and in extreme pain, race officials tried to take MacDonald off the mountain on the back of a quad bike. He lay suffering for 5 hours before a helicopter finally arrived.
Probably the worst day of my life, sitting there, not knowing what's going on. I was in a lot of pain as well, and the pain medication they were giving me was pretty light, so it wasn't really preventing any pain. So, yeah, I was in agony for quite a long time.
MacDonald had fractured his T12 and L1 vertebrae. He had surgery and spent 3 weeks in hospital in Quebec before being flown to Burwood Spinal Unit in Christchurch, where he had to learn to walk again. Despite being told his riding days might be over, MacDonald was determined to not only get back on the pedals, but race again too.
After my surgery, when I had everything fixed and put back into place and the pressure taken off my spinal cord and the sensation in my legs started to come back, so from when I first started walking, I knew.
MacDonald knew he'd be back on the bike, but recovering from a serious back injury and being back racing in just a year has exceeded even his expectations. He says he's one of the few international athletes to have benefited from the coronavirus pandemic.
It's been a blessing in disguise for me because more time to recover and strengthen things that I was weak in and work on stuff that needed working on. So, yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
Back riding downhills as fast as ever, Bulldog says his passion for bikes grew deeper during his rehab.
I feel like I've found a new love for riding. Having such a big accident that kind of could have taken it all away from me, really made me realise how much I enjoy riding my bike, whether it's racing or just riding and enjoying it with friends.
MacDonald plans on making this year's World Champs, scheduled for Austria in October, his first race since breaking his back at the same event in 2019. So will the Hawke's Bay haka have any second thoughts as he points his bike down the steep chutes of the Leogang track?
I'd rather be riding my bike and die than when you know you can walk across the street and get hit by a car and killed. Yeah, especially after my crash, made me realise how important life is and how fast it can change, and you can't just sit on a couch and watch TV 24/7, because it's not living.
Riding bikes down mountains at breakneck speeds might not be everyone's idea of living, but for MacDonald, nothing else comes close. Mō te hōtaka o te ahi pōnei, ko Joe Porter aho.